Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of my knitting podcast. Welcome back to another video of my channel. I'm super excited to do another one, and I wanted to film kind of closely to the other one, to my second knitting podcast, to keep things going and to keep myself going doing this. I was really happy with all the responses that I got. That I got some subscribers. It feels like super cool every time I got a notification like someone subscribed, so that felt really nice and felt like people want to hear about this, so that's really cool. I'm having coffee this morning. It's early Saturday morning. I even set an alarm this morning to be able to film this because my boyfriend will get home from work in like 2 hours, and then we're planning on doing some stuff together, and I feel really awkward to film if he's here, so I set an alarm early to be able to film this podcast. So I'm really excited to do this today. Like I said, I'm drinking my coffee. I also have some water because I always like to have multiple drinks around me. And I haven't had coffee yet, so I'm still waking up. Oh, and something else I noticed. It's very humid. It has been super warm in, I think, most of Europe. I think the UK had a huge heat wave too, but we here in the Netherlands had it too. And it's been so hot, and now it's really humid. So it has cooled down, but you can see from my hair what the humidity is like, because I think last time my hair was straight because it was like dry air. But right now, boom, this happens. So I'm just rolling with it. But if you wonder, like, didn't you comb your hair? Well, you don't want this hair combed like this, then it will only get worse. So it's like I have straight hair when it's dry outside, like when there's dry air, and I have like floofy, half curly hair when it's humid. So fun fact about me. All right, let's get started. I do have a finished object, and I have something else I want to show you from before. Because previous episode I obviously couldn't do everything between my first and my second knitting podcast because there were 5 months in between, so I didn't show everything. But first, what I'm wearing is my Collett tee. I talked about this in my second knitting podcast, and yeah, I told you that I usually get really hot in this. So we'll see what happens this time. But I thought it would be nice to wear because I like how it fits so much. So I made some adjustments. Everything is on my Ravelry project page. So you can check that out if you are interested to know what I did. I'll link my Ravelry in the description box. Look at me saying the YouTube things. Well, I will. It was there last time too, so I will link everything again. I already talked about this a lot. I thought the pattern wasn't super clear, but I really liked the design. And around here, I don't know if you can see, but you can really see where the German short rows happen. So it has German short rows, and then it come to the front, and there's some holes here. So it's not German short rows with like the double stitch. It's like just knitted, and I was trying to like avoid the holes by like pulling it a lot more, but maybe I should have just done double stitch. That's not in the pattern, but that's okay. I think it's not that noticeable. I mean, maybe you will notice it, but no one who sees me in normal life will notice it. It's like looks super good. I think it's like perfect for the office too when it's not too hot. But yeah, like in the winter time with a nice blazer over it, yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it's super nice how neutral it is. Well, I talked about it before, so check out my second knitting podcast if you don't know yet what I think about this, if you want to know more. Then let's get started. I wanted to talk about some finished objects. I wanted to talk about whips, because I made some changes in my whip, in all the whips that I'm doing. And I have, at the end, I'm gonna talk about some plans, and then I have a question for you. So I would really like your advice for that, because I'm hesitant what I'm gonna do, and I want a knitter's opinion on some of my swatches. So that will be at the end. So that's what I want to talk about. Oh, and you might see some snipping in the video. Because last time I had a lot of stress finding the huge one video, and I'm gonna pause it after every segment this time. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay. Time for finished objects. I talked about these before, but now they're all finished, blocked, woven in the ends and everything. These are the textured tootsies with, I made a afterthought heel, which I just did myself. So I, instead of making the heel flap and gusset that the pattern says, I just kept knitting and just stopped, like went into stockinette under the foot at some point. And that's where I picked up stitches for the afterthought heel later. Also for this one, all the information is in my project notes on Ravelry. I told you last episode I made these for a colleague who's having twins, and they will be born really soon now. I think even this week. So I can send them now. So I have two pairs of them, and the only change I made to this one is that it's 1x1 ribbing at the top. I think that looks a little nicer than the 2x2 that's in the pattern. Also the yellow ones look a little smaller, so maybe I had a little tighter tension. I don't know. Maybe it's the yarn too, because I do think there's a slight difference. The yarn that I used is Hobbii Rainbow 4-ply sock wool. And this is the lilac or lavender one, and the other one is this light yellow one. You'll be able to find it on their website. And I used 2.5 millimeter needles. I really like using 2 millimeter needles for socks, just because I like my socks really snug. So I usually go a little under gauge with socks, so I'll have them really snug. So it's either doing 60 stitches for my own foot, or doing 64 on 2 millimeter needles. Random fact. I made these. I think they're so cute. Although the only thing is, I don't know, I guess my hand width. Is this the size of a newborn baby? So I made the newborn size. There's also, in the pattern, it's also up to 3 months year old baby, but then you use DK wool yarn, I think. So I don't know if this is gonna be too big. They look kind of big for a newborn. I would think newborn socks would be tiny, but that doesn't matter. The twins, 2 girls, we'll have them when it's winter, after a few months, and hopefully fit them then. They get a lot more wear out of them if you make them not for a newborn, but for a few months old, or like a year old or something, because then they have a longer time where they're that size. I think. I don't know. Let me know because I don't have kids. So anyway, Textured Tootsies by Tarsha. I don't know if I mentioned that. Those were the socks. Next up is something that I didn't knit on this last few weeks, but I knit on in, what was it, February? Which is this fluffy, oh, it's so nice, and this is the Bina V-neck. I don't know if you can see that well. I could put it on. I'll get really hot, I think. Okay, I'm not gonna put it on. Sorry, I'm already pretty warm with my Collett tea. Yeah, so Bina V-neck. This is a pattern that I tested for Gregoria Fibers, who I talked about a lot in my last episode, but not because of her being a designer, but because she was destashing a bunch of yarn, like this one, amongst others, I wanted to say, but yeah, bear with me. Sometimes I have some sayings that we do in Dutch and I put them in English and then I say them, and I speak English with my boyfriend all the time at home and he is used to it, and I'm trying to talk when I speak English. I want to speak English and not have my Dutch sayings into the English, if you understand what I mean. But so I am aware when I'm starting to do them, and then I like close down for a second and I'm like, what's the English way of saying it? So that's what happened. Anyway, Bina V-neck by Gregoria Fibers. Yeah, this was a test knit. I knit it in Drops Melody in this beautiful blue color. It was supposed to be a lot more grayish when I bought it. It was like Misty Sea Wind or something, like a name like that, and it doesn't say it on there. It's color 9, but this is super nice yarn. It's like so not prickly. It's just amazingly so nice. It's really, I recommend Drops Melody a lot. The only thing is what people sometimes say is that it's hard to knit with because you have this like strand and then like a lot of fluff. I didn't find that too hard. I just used these bamboo needles. I don't know if that helped. But it was kind of, yeah, no, I remember every time you like pick up your stitch, you kind of like, when you pick up your stitch, it kind of like stretches out, right? But with the, at least how I knit. But with the Melody, you kind of have a lot of, like it holds back a lot. So it doesn't like glide with you when you knit. It kind of have to like not push, drag it, kind of have to like, yeah, I think you know what I mean. I'm sorry for all the talk here, talk there. I'm all over the place. It's just nice for the morning. Although I'm always like, I sometimes say, you know, when people are like, are you a morning person or are you an evening person? And I'm like, I'm always the same. When I'm awake, I'm like this. So I'm a person. Not a morning person, not an evening, I'm just a person. I don't know if that's, yeah, nice little jokes. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything more to say about it. I had to take it off my lap because it was really hot. It's super warm. I knit it on 6mm needles and it creates a really nice texture. Oh yeah, the only thing is that it's a drop shoulder construction, and this is not the recommended yarn. I think Gregoria Fibers has her own yarn that she recommends, but because I use Drop Melody, it's like hanging at the shoulders because she used a professional cast-on. So maybe if I were to knit it again, it's not that bad. But if I were to knit it again, I would probably do a normal cast-on, so you have more structure in the shoulders, because now it's like hanging down as I wear it. Yeah, so that were my FOs. Okay, for whips. I have made a lot of progress and I'm really happy about this. Because you remember this one from my previous episode. This is my own design. It's called the Milky Way V-neck. And I'm so proud of it. I mean, look how nice it is. It's a raglan design with eyelets, with a V-neck that has an I-cord edging. And I now put it on. Let's see, I shouldn't, my water is there, I shouldn't. So there's I-cord edging all around the neckline. Obviously I haven't woven in the ends yet because I'm still working on it. And I might want to make some adjustments. I'll put this one on because it's nice and airy. So here you can see it. I'm so happy. It's like I've been wanting to design. I had so many designs in my head, but I think this is a really real difficult design, you know, like there's so much to think about because you have a pattern, you have raglan increases that have different increase rates at different sections. Then you have to think about how deep your raglan is going to be, how wide your sleeves should be, how long your sleeves will be with blocking. So now you see I haven't blocked it, and I was planning on blocking it now, but I wanted to show it on here first, so it won't be wet today. Wouldn't be wet today. But I'm pretty sure that this will block out, maybe to be even too long for my arm. So because the swatch that I made, and I do have it, I was looking for it last time, the swatch stretched out a lot with blocking. So this is where I did my testing for what kind of repeat I wanted. So this is kind of like more what it will look like when it's blocked. So a lot more stretched out. So it's probably going to be really big. But I'll see what it looks like. I also think because I'm using cotton, oh yeah, the yarn that I'm using. See, I don't know how to do this yet, so I hope you don't mind me going all over the place with these things. But anyway, I'm using Cotone, I think it's Italian, it's Lana Grossa, which is a mercerized cotton, and cotton already kind of stretches. Like I said in my previous episode, that I noticed that with some of my knitwear in cotton, and then mercerized cotton stretches even more. It's kind of like superwash yarn, like wool. So it will probably grow a lot, and I think the heaviness of the cotton will also drag it down a little more. So I'm gonna block it now to see what happens to the sleeve, so I can take it out if I need to take some more out. It's gonna be like bracelet length with an I-cord at the end. I want to have in the pattern, I also want to have an option for short sleeves, but I do want it to be a sweater. I want it like well, it can be a tee too, but my design will be, or the one that I'm making will be a sweater. I really wanted a cotton sweater like this one with a v-neck for the transitional seasons, because sometimes you just want to wear something over whatever you're wearing and just want to bring it in a bag, and yeah. But I think it would also be really nice in any other type of yarn with other materials in it. So maybe even a mohair, I don't know. So if I do a test call, I will let you know over here too, but I will do it probably run it on my Instagram, so over there you can find all the information if I decide to launch the test call. I kind of wrote the whole pattern already because I wanted to do all the calculations before I started knitting, so it would be perfect for me. Yeah, so I haven't graded it yet, but if I use the same method that I did for my own size, I can grade for the other sizes, because I just made the calculations based on armhole depth, bust circumference and length. So I think that's a size medium or large. I don't remember. Yeah. Or I don't want to do, by the way, I don't want to do the medium large kind of things, but that's, yeah, I'm going to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. because I think, like, if you have a size range from an extra small till a 5XL, then a medium is in the middle of that, right? So that doesn't make any sense. So a medium would be, let's say they have 9 sizes, so a medium should be the like double XL. Is that in the middle? So like it's just made to make people feel bad about their bodies, and it's bad, very, very bad. I think it's I don't mean people who use that in their patterns. Please don't think that I said that. I mean that the fashion industry like to say small, medium, large, while large isn't actually large enough for a lot of people, including myself. It just, clothes should fit you and you shouldn't fit the clothes. So I think we should all help in that and be size inclusive. So I want to make it size inclusive too, but that's out of the question, I think. All right, so that's my Milky Way V-neck. Okay, that was a very abrupt end. It's a good thing I checked between my segments because it cut off, but luckily it wasn't that long. I was just saying that's my Milky Way V-neck. All right. My other whips, well, last time I showed you this one, the beauty of the beauties. And I still love it so much, but it's mohair. So hot to knit with. And like I said, it has been very hot and then very humid. So I've been putting mohair away for a little bit, but I love the cables. And then a couple of months ago, I think, My Favorite Things Knitwear, that's sweater number 15 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. My Favorite Things Knitwear, she posted a tank version or a camisole version of that one. And she had like this picture, I'll see if I can find it, with it like hanging over a clothesline, and I was like, that's it. Like, I've been as obsessed with that one, with the sweater, for so long, and then I saw that and I was like, I want to have that. But I just started with that one, I think, and it hadn't come out yet, and then it was so hot, so I did something, and that is, ta-da! Look how far I am. I already like joined in the round. So basically I'm at the same spot with the sweater as I am with the camisole, but the camisole doesn't have sleeves, so it will be faster. And I want to now finish it so I can still wear it when it's hot. So look how nice it is. So it's a camisole. I'm making it together with Taylor from Pearl Jade, and I think that's her name because she sometimes refers to herself as the third person, but I've actually never asked her. But she has a podcast too, and I talked to her on Instagram, and I know she really likes the sweater number 15, and I said, should we knit this one together? So we're both knitting it. I'm knitting it with Knitting for Olive pure silk. Sorry if there's hairs on it. This is deep petroleum blue. I've been really into the navies. I don't know if you noticed with the other sweater, the other whip, and this one. Yeah, so I really enjoy it. One thing that's funny, I think it's nice to share. So you cast on for the front first. You don't do a professional cast on, but then you pick up stitches and then you keep knitting in the cables and you can almost not see it. It's over here. Look, there you can see there's a seam, but on the outside, there's no seam. And I didn't know, I was like, oh, that's not gonna be that nice looking. And I looked on Instagram to see if other people, if they maybe had a picture of this segment, and then I was super surprised that it didn't have any seam, like you couldn't really see a seam on the outside. So again, so smart. Her designs are just so smart. I love it. Plus it's super similar to the sweater number 15. So the increases are the same, the cables are the same. It's just on a smaller needle. I'm using 3mm needles from Gu. Yeah, it works really fine. Yeah, I'm using metal needles with silk, but I think because it's Gu, it's like kind of grippier, so it works. So that's really fun. I'm hoping to finish that one soon. Okay, next up is my plans and my questions for you. I have two upcoming cast-ons. Well, one of them will start on Monday, so it's Saturday the 20th of August right now. And this knit-along is starting on the 22nd, on Monday. And it is the Alpenglow by Andrea Mowry, which is Andrea Renee Knits on Ravelry, I think, on Instagram. And she made this sweater, she designed this sweater, and it's going to be one of the Rhinebeck sweaters. I don't know that much about all of this because I am not from the US, but I think it's a big festival, yarn and knitting and everything in the US. And every year there's like a few sweaters that is like they're like a sweater, like a Rhinebeck sweater for that festival. So I think this is one of them. The only reason I'm not going to Rhinebeck or anything. I just really like this pattern. So I saw it on Knitty Natty's channel, and I thought, wow, that's like one of the prettiest sweaters that I've seen in a while. I'll put a picture somewhere so you can see how pretty it is too. So what it is it's in sports weight. It has like a collar in one collar, and then it has like these peaks like the Alps, and then it has like a fluffy section over here, and then it goes into like this color work. And they use spin cycle yarns, I think, which however pretty it might be, it's so expensive. So I can't afford that. So I'm going to share with you the yarn. The yarn that I'm using is Well, I'm just gonna hold it all together. I think that's nice. Oh. The yarn that I'm using for the Alpenglow are these. And I think it's like kind of the same idea. Sorry, I had to sneeze. All the fluff around here. I think it's kind of the same idea as the version from Andrea Mowry. That one is like the warmer tones, and I wanted to have with cooler tones. I don't know, I just had this idea that this would be super cool. So this would be the segment at the top. This one, so this is the collar. And by the way, also the end of the sleeves. Then I'm using, which is Baby Merino drops in electric blue. Then drops Alpaca silk for the fluffy bit, and I think I'm gonna hold it together. Although it's on 3.5mm needles, so it might be good to use one, but I'll see. And then for the whole body, black with this as a contrast color. So this will peek through. And I have a lot more of these over here. But these are a lot, like it's a fade kind of. But I'll see how far I'll go. I don't want to make it too Christmassy. So I might go into like this one. Use these three. But I'll see how far I get with the colors, and then I'll just fade further. But I'll start with the green, which is, I think it's going to be really fun, like having really cool colors for it. I think it's going to be pretty. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to cast it on Monday because I want to join the Cal, and the Cal lasts until mid-October. So then I'll have it finished because I want to join the Cal. You can join the Cal if you don't go to Rhinebeck. They said that. And I think there's prizes too. There's a Ravelry page. I'll put some information about it below where I found the information about it. I just think it's fun to do a knit along. Like I said last time, I went from test knits to knit alongs. It's fun. Alright. I'm gonna check again. Last up is what I need your advice on. So I want to make the Cherish Jacket by Popknit. Ever since I saw her making it the first time and posting about it on Instagram, I thought that's the most amazing cardigan. She calls it a jacket, but I think it's a cardigan. That's the most amazing cardigan ever. So I started swatching. And what I did is I had these hangs from when I was in the US over Christmas to visit my boyfriend's family. They're from Hobby Lobby, and they were, I think I paid $40 for 4 skeins, which was a good deal, I think, for 100% superwash merino. So I thought that would be really nice because hers also has like speckles on it. And I still had all of that. I still had this in stash, the alpaca silk that I'm going to use for the Alpenglow. So I made this swatch, this one, which is on 5.5mm needles. But I don't really like, you can't really see the beautiful speckles and everything that well. So then I made another swatch, which is this one. I also put it on 5mm needles. It's still a little bit too big, but I think it will be okay. And I really like this one, but do you like it too? So what I did is, instead of, the first one had one strand of the hank and then one strand of the alpaca silk, brushed alpaca silk, and now I used one strand of drops, just this white grayish mohair. So this, and this. So I have this really cool fading yarn. And yeah, I'm also making another sweater, which is a long time whip. I'll put a picture in, that I'm using with a different colorway of this faded, this faded type of thing. So this is the same colorway, but there's another one that I have that is a little less extreme, so it's a little more pastel. But I thought, if I'm gonna fade over this, so this will create like a long fade in the cardigan. Like it will go from pink to light pink to blue to purple, and then the sleeves will go even longer because there's like less circumference. So I thought, I don't want that, because then you get two different things happening. So you have the speckles and everything happening, you have the pattern happening, so there's three things, and then you have a fade happening. So what I thought, okay, I'm gonna stripe it. So what I did here is pick out two extremes. So I have a little bit of blue here from this yarn, and then I used the dark pink, and I faded that. But it will be different, a different kind of, I like every 2 rows I switched yarns, not faded. So I think this would be the most extreme way, and even then you can't really see, you can see like a stripe effect, but I think this will be nice. So it will be less of a difference, I think, in the rest of the cardigan, but I wanted to see what the extremist version would look like if I had the light blue against the dark purple. But I think it's really nice. But what do you think? Like, is this a good idea? I like crazy things, so it's not too crazy for me. But should I fade it? Like, should I just use the strand and not switch the yarns? Because it's also like, you have to switch the mohair every time, so you have to unravel it, like uncurl the yarns that have been like held together, you know, in the strand. So yeah, what do you think? Should I keep it with the stripes? Like change the different sections of the yarn? Or am I not using then the cool effect of this beautiful yarn? Oh, I haven't said what it is. Sorry. It's Rico Design Essentials Super Kit Mohair Love Silk print. To keep it short. And it has, so this is the same colorway, just starts at a different section. So what should I do? What do you think? Let me know, please. I would love to hear what you think. Do you love this? Or do you think I should fade the whole thing like the yarn is supposed to be used? Let me know. Yeah. All right. Then one more thing I want to show you, since I also didn't mention what I used here. There's this Dutch Hobbii. Hobbii is dyer. She has Instagram. It's called VMCJ Knitwear. And I bought all these beautiful sock yarns there. So that was including all of these, the ones that are over there, and these. And I'm planning to make socks with these. So I just wanted to say also what the green yarn, that fade, what it was from. And I think it's just really pretty. I have a little more. I think I have like, I bought 4 different types of sock yarn from her. I just thought it was so pretty what she did. I really like speckles. Yeah, as you could probably tell. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Let me know what you think. Please comment. I noticed that it helped a lot when I got a first comment, that then suddenly YouTube picked up the video, so it helps. It really helps if you give it a little like and comment. So if you got till here, maybe you can leave like a sunny emoji celebrating the little bit last parts of the summer sunshine that we have now in the end of August, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, the sunny days that are about to come. So that would be really nice, and I would love it if you subscribe too. It's so fun to get a subscriber. It's like whoa. I was like showing my boyfriend all the time, like, look, another person subscribed. It's really, really weird and fun, and it's really fun. It's really nice. Thank you for being supportive. And I'll see you next time. Next time I make a video. All right. Bye.